Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Justice League Dark Issue 4. This is part 3 of the Witching Hour. Magic is in a state of complete chaos in the DC universe, and Hecate, the sorceress of, well, I guess she's the god of, she's almost considered like a trinity god of, she's not life, she's not death, she's, I don't really know what kind of god she is, but she's a creature of magic. She's a magical god, and she's existed for many centuries, and she doesn't like the state of magic in the DC universe. And apparently once the Source Wall broke down and all these darker forces of magic, along with other darker forces of other things other than magic, came out of the Source Wall, well, these darker sources of magic have had somewhat of an influence, and they're trying to, the Upside Down Man tried to have some influence on what was going on in Earth and tried to destroy magic and take over and impose a darker magic. But now, for whatever reason, Hecate seems to want to do the same thing. I'm not really clear what Hecate's goal here is. She wants to destroy all magic on Earth and replace it with her own. And what she's done is she's, over the centuries, the previous three parts I've revealed, over the centuries she's placed her most powerful magics into 5 different individuals throughout the centuries, and as these individuals have slowly died, or the magic that they were holding in themselves burned them out and eventually ended their lives. As the centuries passed, Hecate kept transferring her magical energies from generation to generation, and now suddenly now that the Source Wall's broken down, that has for some reason compelled her to draw in all and collect all the magic that she's got stored in all her sort of like all her minions, these 5 minions that have where she stored her power, and she's collecting all of those. And Wonder Woman's one of them. There's Manitou Dawn. Manitou Dawn is one that has Hecate's power. There's Wonder Woman, who's got some 1/5 of Hecate's power. And then there's another character by the name of Black Orchid that has the power of Hecate in her. And basically they're puppets of Hecate. Now Wonder Woman got the help of Circe, her enemy Circe, to basically help give her some control over the magic that was within her. So this issue has basically Wonder Woman attacking Manitou Dawn, who's a puppet of Hecate, and basically trying to stop her and stop Hecate from basically destroying the magic on Earth. Now this is written by James Tynion. James Tynion's doing a pretty good job here overall. It's very interesting. This is probably one of the more exciting arcs in the Justice League titles. But I do have some criticisms of it, and my immediate, probably the one, and this might be a little bit of a nitpick, and maybe James Tynion will explain this because he's usually pretty good at explaining himself, is I'm not really sure what Hecate's motive is here. I mean, the best villains are the ones where you can understand or sympathize with what their motive is. If Hecate had a motive beyond just destroying darker magic and replacing it with something better, well, what does that mean? And if you have to destroy all of reality in order to destroy magic, doesn't that really defeat the point? Also, if Hecate had all of her powerful magic stored in 5 different individuals over the centuries, why did it take you all this time and millions of years to figure out that you didn't like the state of magic? Why didn't you destroy the planet and all of reality centuries ago, or a millennia ago? Why wait till now? The answer would appear to be on the surface that the breaking down of the Source Wall seemed to create some sort of motivation for Hecate to step up and destroy all magic. Now, I don't understand Hecate's reasoning here, because if she destroys all magic, she's still going to have to face the Upside Down Man. She's still going to have to face the darker forces of magic that were behind the Source Wall, that were the true originators of magic, not Hecate. So I'm a little bit unclear as to what Hecate's reasoning is. Now, Zatanna in this issue did stated that Hecate's gone a little crazy, or at least maybe she was talking about Wonder Woman there, but there's an implication here that maybe Hecate has gone a little bit insane. Maybe Hecate has been adversely influenced by the darker forces behind the Source Wall. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm also a little bit I'm a little bit surprised by the lack of action on Circe's part. She gave Wonder Woman the illusion of control, as Zatanna calls it, over the use of the magic. But I can't believe that Cersei is not somehow going to come into play here, because usually Cersei doesn't make a deal unless she's going to get something out of it. I mean, they gave Cersei a unicorn in order to entice her to help Wonder Woman give some semblance of control over the power of Hecate that was within her. But I can't see Cersei not getting involved, and I can't see Cersei honoring the deal because they gave her a unicorn. What the hell does she need a unicorn for? So that's a little off. Anyways, I'm not entirely sure where all these plot threads come into play. This issue was written by James Tynion, the writer. On pencils was Alvaro Martinez Brieno, Raul Fernandez on inks, Brad Anderson on the colors, Rob Lay on the letters, and Riley Rosmo on the cover. Really, it's not bad. The cover actually is a little bit disappointing. It's probably one of the ugliest foil covers. It didn't work very well. It's blotchy in spots, so it's not the greatest cover. But the interior art is fantastic. Now, the story here is actually pretty good. Nanda Parbat is, which is sort of like the modern, sort of like our equivalent of Tibet in the DC universe. Nanda Parbat is a place of darkness and magic, and it's sort of like the epicenter of life and death. It's the home of the god Ramakrishna. And Ramakrishna is basically the god of life and death, and she's got a bunch of monks that sort of guard it, and she's sort of like she's a benevolent god that sort of makes sure that there's stability between life and death and all the stuff in between. And in any event, Hecate is using Manitou Dawn to attack Nanda Parbat and destroy it, and she wants to kill Ramakrishna. And why she wants to kill Ramakrishna, it's not clear at all. She tells Ramakrishna that she wants to destroy her because you've done poor work, sister. Humankind sits at the precipice of destruction. Magic has become a liability, and she'll burn it. And Hecate wants to burn out the magic and replace it with something better. There's no explanation. Why has magic become a liability? Why does humankind sit on a precipice of destruction? How can you say that when you're the one destroying it, Hecate? Why has magic become a liability? On the contrary, it seems as if you're going to need the magic in order to defeat the darker forces of magic that have come out from behind the source wall. So why is Hecate doing this? She really seems to be loopy, insane. I'm not really understanding Hecate's motivation here. It's one of my criticisms of this, is that Hecate is really coming across as really, really stupid. And Wonder Woman isn't that particularly bright either here. I mean, if Zatanna is the one that can plainly see that, Wonder Woman doesn't have control of the magic. And at the end of this, Hecate takes control of Wonder Woman because it's Hecate's darker forms of magic that are within Wonder Woman, and Hecate sort of takes over Wonder Woman at the end of this. And in chapter 4, part 4 next week, presumably Wonder Woman's going to be attacking Zatanna and the other forces of the Justice League Dark. One saving grace here, that the thing that might give Wonder Woman the edge over controlling the power of Hecate or getting the control back, much to the surprise of Zatanna, I would imagine, is the fact that she's a demigod. Wonder Woman is the daughter of Zeus. And she also has the wisdom of Athena, although she rarely exercises it or gives any evidence that she has any wisdom. In theory, she's got the wisdom of Athena, and she's got the power of Zeus, and she's got powers of other gods. She's the patron of many gods. So that ought to give her a little bit of an edge in terms of controlling the power of Hecate, in addition to having some additional help from Cersei from last issue. I love the fact that Bibbo the chimp finally wielded his sword, which was, and he stepped up to plate as the new Night Master, and he opened up a portal to another dimension with his sword in order to allow Ramakrishna to escape to another dimension so that Hecate would not kill her. And which is a good thing. I'm going to ask you guys, maybe I missed something here, but there's supposed to be five people that each have 1/5 the power of Hecate. It's Wonder Woman, Black Orchid, Manitou Dawn. Who are the other two? I'm drawing a blank. If you guys can remind me, please tell me in the comments below. If it's already been revealed, please remind me, because I'm drawing a blank. Maybe I'm drinking too much Coke right now. I don't know. I should go back to Corona. My memory's better. Anyways, guys, I enjoy this. I give this, this is still fun. It was really great. I love the battle here. I love the appearance of Deadman helping out his, it's almost like Deadman's patron god. It almost seems to be this Ramakrishna. I love the fact that Ramakrishna, it's not Hama, sorry, my bad, it's Ramakrishna. She guards the boundary of life and death. She's guarded the boundary of life and death for generations. And I love the fact that John Constantine just called her Hare Krishna. I thought John Constantine was more familiar with creatures of magic than that, but I guess that's his sense of humor. Some great battle sequences here between Wonder Woman when she shows up on the scene. Hecate is about to kill Ramakrishna, and Wonder Woman shows up kicking butt, utilizing the power of Hecate against her. And then at the end, a pretty epic moment where Wonder Woman is turned by Hecate and is going to be turning on the forces of Justice League Dark. Guys, all in all, not a bad issue. I give it a 7 out of 10. Art, I give it a 7.5. And until next time, guys, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. And Comic Boom, out.